Welcome to the magnificent Cathedral Basilica of St. Louis, also known as the St. Louis Cathedral or simply the New Cathedral. When looking at the cathedral, it is almost as if you were standing next to one of the many old cathedrals you can find across Europe. However, unlike the typical European Gothic cathedrals, this is more of a Romanesque and Byzantine style, with its 2 towers and 3 large domes. This cathedral is also not as old as one might think. The planning for a new cathedral, which would replace the old one situated next to the Grand Arch, began in the late 19th century. During this time, a special fund and a formal organization promoting the new cathedral was created. The construction itself started later, when the foundation stone was placed in 1908. By 1914, enough of the building was completed for a dedication ceremony, yet the full consecration did not take place until June 29, 1926. The consecration gathered all of St. Louis parish churches, 59 archbishops, and more than 100,000 people on Lindell Boulevard. However, even after the consecration, the cathedral wasn't 100% finished until 1988, when the interior mosaic was completed. The cathedral is dedicated to the victorious Christ and the French King Louis XIV, also known as Saint Louis. The latter has given name to not only the cathedral, but also the city that you're in. The cathedral was designated a basilica in 1997 when Pope John Paul II made a historic visit to St. Louis. While the outside of the cathedral certainly is impressive, it is most famous for its beautiful inside. The inside of the cathedral holds one of the largest mosaics in the world, containing more than 41 million pieces. The work is so detailed that it from afar looks more like a painting than a mosaic. When looking at the huge 7,700 square meter mosaic, I think you will understand why it took 76 years and a dozen of artists to finish it. The mosaic in the entrance area depicts the life of the French King Saint Louis, and the rear dome includes mosaics of significant archdiocesan events, while the main dome and sanctuary depicts biblical scenes from both the Old and the New Testament. The cathedral also houses a museum in the basement. The museum is dedicated to the mosaic and some of the other artifacts found within the cathedral. For example, the original organ. The basement also holds a crypt where former spiritual leaders are buried. In the left transept, you can also find a small shrine dedicated to the Sacred Heart of Jesus. The Sacred Heart is a symbol of the love Jesus has for all people. The focus of the shrine is a mosaic produced by the esteemed Mosaic Studio located in the Vatican. The mosaic is based upon an oil painting which depicts Jesus and his Sacred Heart. If you have the time, make sure to pay the inside of the cathedral a visit. However, before going inside, I want to tell you about another special feature of this site. There is a statue called Angel of Harmony on the west side of the entrance. This 14-foot high statue was raised in 1999 in memory of Daniel Schafly, a Catholic layman who was dedicated to the cause of racial justice and peace. This unorthodox statue depicts a winged angel with African American features, standing behind 3 children with Hispanic, Asian, and European features, playing a song of peace on their instruments. The statue's base is of granite and is inscribed with quotations from the New Testament, Pope John Paul II, and Dr. Martin Luther King. Today, the new cathedral is one of St. Louis's landmarks and a true architectural masterpiece.